is in the building. Zeke Black is in the building. Feed the wolves and feed the wolves today. Today's show is G Unit versus Jimmy Henchman. Basically, hip hop going wrong. The slap that played a part to Jimmy Henchman's case that has gotten him life in prison. Before we get there, there's a couple other things we could talk about. There's in hip hop. The Fat Joe situation popped up on Clubhouse, and this is my take on this. I spoke to the guy. The guy hit me up. The individual that he was talking about that allegedly got told, whatever the case may be. He hits me up one day and he goes, "What's going on?" We having a conversation. Me and the guy, Latino brother, good brother, and he's figuring out. He's trying to figure out who I am. Yo, such and such. So I tell him who I am. We're not talking about you links. We're not talking about nobody else. We're just me having a conversation. So he asks me about a guy from my block. So I said, he asked me about a guy named Superman Ed. I said, yes, that's one of my OGs. You know what I'm saying? I was outside when he was outside. So he goes, I want to ask you, brother, like, how old are you? So I'm 48 years old. Okay, so you're not just talking from the sidelines. You're not a 20-year-old trying to speak upon something. So, shout out to the AP Wiz. So in the conversation that we're having, he took on people on my block. Yeah, such and such, and yeah. So you know, and I know that Fat Joe's name was never affiliated with the Brian Ave Boys, other than them probably going to the same clubs. But at that point in time, Fat Joe had a club. You know what I'm saying? Or some type of after-hours spot. But that's a whole other story. So as we're touching on this conversation we're having, he goes, he tells me that he hit a Fat Joe. And he asked Fat Joe, yo, when we go on, you come on your platform, you give me 100,000, and I'll announce this paperwork or whatever situation they're trying to put together. It was a fake extortion plot. It was more or less. Fat Joe definitely saluted the Michael Blow dollars. Fat Joe goes, no, do what you got to do. So that's when everything is went haywire. Star got it. It went crazy. But I asked old boy per se, was Fat Joe part of your case? He said, nah. I'm not, I can't say Fat Joe was a part of my case. So, with that being said, I actually spoke to one of the individuals that they were speaking about. He hit me up. He hit me up months ago. You know what I'm saying? I already knew that Fat Joe was it down to Brian Ave Boys. It had nothing to do with them or no affiliations other than going to the club. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, at that point in time, them going to his club that he may have owned. See, Fat Joe had a lot of things going on in that. He just wasn't the hip hop head that charged. No, a lot of dudes had to wait till they got to the bag in the hip hop before they began to purchase things. Fat Joe was purchasing things in the beginning roles of hip hop. He had his clothing line. A lot of people don't speak about his clothing line. Fat Joe also had the club. He had a club. Some people used to call it the new fever. DJs like a whole bunch of Jamaican DJs. I forgot these Jabba and them used to be in there DJ. Frankie Cutts used to be in there DJing. You know what I'm saying? Just name a few. I remember some guys in my block used to promote for his club. The straight face cats, not from my block, but affiliated with straight face. They used to give out fly. I believe Ted Smooth was in that club a couple of times. They used to promote the guy named Adam Torres. Used to have a bunch of dudes on the team. They used to promote Fat Joe's club or whatever he had going on in the Bronx. Like I said, this is before dudes was making millions of dollars in hip hop. Fat Joe was moving around in these hip hop streets, clubs, after hours. It is what it is. You're from New York City. I'm from Harlem, East Harlem. I wasn't an after hour spot type of guy, but you had the black door, the red door. You'll know certain locations. If you was up by either wall, you had Lou's and such. Little after hour spots where dudes after a long night of partying could roll dice, hang out, meet some chicks, and pay $100 for a little shot of Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? That's the generation. That's the New York we're talking about. So needless to say, There's no paperwork on Fat Joe. There's only a newspaper article, and what's within the newspaper article, because he owned the spot where an individual was shot. It said that he never cooperated with the police for the case. Only thing he said was, I own the club. If that. Because he owned the spot. He didn't, yo, that's my man, because when you start cooperating in his situation, you get sued. Remember, allegedly somebody died at his club. So if his paperwork is right, and it ain't a private spot, yeah, it's my man, it's my security, yeah, he smokes her. People could get sued. So you want to be less attached to the crime as possible. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how that story goes. You can read it in the New York Post, Fat Joe, I think like 1996, 97, a club shooting in the Bronx. You can actually Google this. Shout out to Joey Crack, shout out to UFO Feed. Let's do it. Now, needless to say, talking about my man, the big 50 Cent, the big 5-0. Bless up to the chat. G, you Nick. I gotta give 50 his credit. I give him credit. He's probably one of the most successful hip-hop artists that really benefited off of public free information. Bless up, that's for that seriously really blew up off of public information. Okay, let's add up how 50 Cent, he made a dope album, Diamond, dope singles, in the club, Pimp P.I.M.P., what's up, blood, what up, cut, yo, happy birthday to Shotty, you know what I'm saying? To my man Chop Chick for Queens. I'm staying on course, party people. Let me stay here where I'm at. Remember, he had great songs, right? But what helped out his algorithm? Okay, you got beef with one of the hottest record labels at that time, Murder Inc. Ja Rule was on top of the world. Well, he's definitely at that point in time, Murder Inc. They wasn't the number one label, they was number two. Irv Gotti was producing everything hot. What's Love, DMX, Jigga, anything smoking around, Murder Inc. hip-hop wise, they was up there. He was beefing with them. Then you got a so-called beef with a guy that's come from the 80s from New York City called Supreme, a heavy hitter, the boss of bosses. When you speak in New York, even out of towners, you got to talk about the Supreme team. Because you got to talk about, yo, so those guys that killed the cop, Fat Cat Nichols and Supreme and Tommy Mickens. But they conversations come up all over the country. You got dudes that you can ask about, yo, when dudes from Queens or the Supreme guy. But now, what's in the algorithm is the guy that 50 Cent got beef with. Remember when he made that movie? They swore that the guy, Magnetic, or whatever his name was Supreme. That's how all the algorithm went. So now in the algorithm, you have beef with the biggest hip hop artists. Now in the streets, you got beef with one of the biggest street legends, the killer of killers, allegedly, right? Supreme team. Now this is gonna be well versed here. Then allegedly you got shot by a hitter. And the only reason what makes the hitter goes viral is because a rapper named Little Kim messed with a guy named World. And she admitted on TV that I messed with a drug dealer and his name is World. World catches the cage. Allegedly he had homo touch. 50 Cent makes a song and makes a reference towards the man who shot me. Boom. That was the rumor was homo hit him. Viral. So now you're just not this rapper, you're really a street gangster. All this is in the newspaper and free media. There was no way that when you really got next to 50 Cent shot 120, DJ Who Kid, even Yayo, we can't beat this. We're in the paper by accident. Because now they can't talk about Homo getting murdered without going, he's accused of shooting the rapper 50 Cent. We can't talk about Supreme without going, yo, I think Preem has something to do with this. Yo, they saying Preem got him shot. And then he plays into it with the old man gonna put me on to something, Chaz, and such and such. So now it's all the algorithm. This is this is a free promotion. All you gotta do is don't get punched in the face. So now 50 gotta play into this. He gotta walk around with a bulletproof vest. He gotta act like his life is in danger. They gotta hire a bunch of dudes that's gonna go crazy. It worked. That's how he won the first time. The first time, done. You can't be more solidified. What you just said right there than having beef with street legends. You're always in the street. But how many dudes gonna say, well, I had beef with Preem. I'm not dead. Yo, son who got me hit, son who shot me, he's a hitter. You know the rapper Little Kim, her boyfriend, he in jail with 12 bodies, such and such. They hit him. That's smart, man. He free marketing worked for him. Believe me, his free marketing worked for him. That marketing worked for him. Page 6, New York Post. Forget the source. Chicago Times, the Associated Press worked for 50 Cent. The AP, not even just local, the AP. Then he signs with Dr. Dre. They make these beats, let's go, let's be goofy, let's get some money. Takes it to the top. Now he has a new beef. Now he's working on the second album, I believe, or the G, whatever he's working on now. It's his new beef with him and this California rapper. Him and the Game. Now check this out. Before him and the Game had a falling out, we thought 50 and Jimmy had a falling out over the original 50 Cent DVD Tombstone. Now the amazing part about this beef over the Tombstone is they could have just went and bought it. Mr. White Builders in the building, shout out to Harlem. East Harlem, Foster, rest in peace to Mr. White Builders Pops. You always gotta show salute to the OGs, you heard? You gotta be well versed here. We gotta be well versed here. He been had an issue with Jimmy. They had it falling out over this Tombstone, whatever happened with the 50 Cent thing. In the mix of the Game situation. But now the media plays a part to this time again. 50 Cent, California rapper. Game, it's getting crazy. Now there's shots fired, right? There's shots, Hot 97's being fired. Shots is fired now, right? Shots is fired. So now it's going crazy. Oh, Hot 97, yo, it's crazy out here. They're shooting, and the Associated Press touches it. Now CNN is talking about it. There's a shooting at Hot 97 radio station. The rapper Game, and somebody died. Somebody got shot. I don't know if nobody died. It's a shooting, and they shot up the offices of Chris Lighty. It's bigger than the source now. So now 50 Cent is super, 50 Cent is just super gangster. He got beef with everybody. Not just Ja Rule, R&B rapper. He got beef with Supreme, the Bloods in California. No, you know how that. Y'all know how the flow go. Yo, he got the Bloods in Cali. He's the lie. He's doing this. He's speaking with Killer Cam. Remember Cam? Him and Cam was going at it. This shit is working for this guy. Now let me tell you something. There's been many slaps in the game. People with everything that had an algorithm to it and name to it. So now we're talking about Jimmy Henchman. We don't know that he ran with, we know he had that from Tut, Scooter, what it do. We don't know all this. We hearing all this shit. Tut, Tupac, he did with two. This is his name. So now they gotta create the story around this nigga. Yeah, he's down with the Tupac shit, you know what I'm saying? And then that shit just, you had to create this character for him. Now we gotta get the press team together. Who was Jimmy? Jimmy's a Rikers Island. He's a mini shooter. He ran with the original 50 Cent. He's from Flatbush or wherever he's from. He was running around with some Haitians, swabbing and sticking up niggas. He became this. He found his way probably with Don Poole. Shout out to Don Poole. Go to that Brooklyn. What they call it? The Brooklyn. So they got two. They got one in Manhattan and one in Brooklyn. Definitely shout out Don Poole. He was always promoting parties. Probably got through the hip hop with them and went with the Jamaicans and Haitians, West Indians, and he falls into the lap of Brandy and the rest of them, and now he's managing the game. Can't make this shit up. You gotta make this. So now they gotta put this, because now people with 50 Cent now, they gotta put together this collage. Yo, he was there. He was down with the Super Pop. You know what I'm saying? They throw him in the Pac. Okay, Tupac. Yeah, he was part of that shit. So he's been around. He's a gangster too. He's a super gangster. That's what they do, bro. Y'all know the timelines. Y'all know the timelines. Listen, y'all know the timeline. Now somebody slaps Jimmy Henchman. Now think about the first beef. What happened with the first beef? With 50 Cent going back and forth in the media. He had no. Who knows what actual beef he had with Supreme, but Supreme got life in prison. And the worst part about this all is 50 Cent name doesn't come up really too much in Supreme's case. You know what I'm saying? It's popping. Shout out to Queens. But what I've been listening to, 50 name has been popping up. You know what I'm saying? Might be an Irv Gotti shit though, because they going back and forth. But 50 Cent name ain't no statements, no grand juries. But he's attached to Supreme case for some weird reason because of the streets. Can't make this up. I know Supreme sitting back like, yo, how the fuck this nigga makes a movie that goes up to like 30 million and they all think I'm Magneto because he threw this shit in the air that he has a beef with me. How many people like this is crazy. A nigga made 30 million. A man sold close to 10 million records because he involved my name in his beef. Yes, the documentary was dope. It was very well versed. It wasn't, no disrespect to Bimmy, it wasn't a Bimmy show. It was a Supreme and Prince show. And it's other guys that was a part of the team that need to have a voice too. Shout out to Bimmy though, you know what I'm saying? But everybody had to speak in that situation. You had to be well versed. You got to hear from Bean mouth. You got to hear from understanding mouth. You got to hear from, look, according to news reports, he wanted to kill Green Eye Born. Green Eye Born voice, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You have to hear from the people that was there as well. There's other players that was part of the Supreme team that played a major part to their organization. Boom. He goes diamond. Got the hits. It worked. Free marketing. Can't beat this. Him and Shy. Second album, he got you the beat. Now I'm gonna tell you about trolling. This is when you know trolling is crazy. Who has an idea to slap a nigga son? Now y'all know we say the kids is off limits in the streets when the young boys be shooting at each other. When the young boys start taking shots at each other, we be like, yo, y'all be bugging. Don't we say that? We be bugging. Yo, young boys are losing their mind. Yo, they bugging. So what would make Yayo and two other niggas allegedly see the young boy and slap him and not think there was gonna be no deadly consequences? And at this, again, 50 Cent names attached to this shit. This can't make this up. Bandito. Can't make this up. 50 Cent names all attached to this shit, and his only involvement with this shit is, yo, those are my employees. I ain't telling them to do it. This is crazy. You can't make this up. But that was a viral moment, 50 Cent, because dudes are trying to kill Chris Lively, trying to push a record. You got all this beat, you getting all this promotion. He didn't beat, I don't know his album, I don't know if he was promoting the G-Unit album or he was promoting his second album, but his second album did not beat Kanye West in the record sales for the first week, I remember. It might have been around that same time. Because around that time, that's when Dead-Eye caught the case and all this other craziness. And dudes went to jail for the slap. That's crazy. Some dudes went to jail for the slap. Again, 50 Cent name is in the background. The only thing with 50 Cent is he doesn't get caught up in this, but he's attached to it. So think about it. How is 50 Cent calling Jimmy Henchman the biggest rat in the world? Nigga, you ain't got to do with the case. But you're the reason why we have this case. Think about this. You're the reason why this case is even existing. A part of this case. Not at all, because Jimmy had some other things going on that was eventually was going to catch up to him. But this, the Lodi Mac beef, rest in peace to the homie Lodi Mac, that was their hip-hop beef. Again, how hip-hop would destroy you. Okay, with the third album, as I said, y'all know the records. Now, hold on. The first one, oh, no, it was the third album. That's what, oh, yeah. The first one was Power Dollar. The second one was Boom. That sold 10 million. It was the third one, Kanye West. Yeah, I just keep forgetting he had an album out with How to Rob. I forgot all that one. I keep thinking that was a mixtape. You're right, that was his third album. Let's be well versed here. The second one, the one that M signed him to, that's what I'm talking about, Boom, when he went to the top. And the third one, that's the one. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that, bro. Now, Chris Lighty, the good brother for Violator Records, he got these Haitians where you know, the Haitians is different, man. Them Zoes is a little more, you know, I don't play with Haitians in New York. I never really played with the Haitians, you know what I'm saying? They went around. The only time I seen the Haitians one time was watching the Steven Seagal movie. The Dreads, they started shooting crazy with the big Uzis. They shoot the nigga off or something. But I got some testimony. I got some audio. I just want to give you some of the logistics of what I'm speaking about. Thank you, Anthony. The third album, Sincere. Now it's Sincere. The second album sold over 10 million. Yep, exactly. Hit it on the nose. Yep, you hit it on the nose. You're saying it right. You're saying it right. The third Main Street album. Get it was mixtape. I just keep forgetting the first album he put out, the Trackmaster. Whoever the Trackmasters, whoever the fuck he put it out with. The shit ain't do what it was supposed to do. Oh, it was Jamaican in that movie. Yeah, forget. I don't play with niggas like that. Jamaicans and Haitians were all the same back in the day. Not calling niggas the same, bummer clots and side by side, but y'all get the logistics. Like, damn it. You know what I'm saying? We got the ooze, shoot. It ain't gonna front. Chris Lang gets caught up in the beef, and this is amazing. Again, what do 50 Cent got to do with this? If 50 Cent, yo, it's crazy. So he got to be the so this is this. He has to be one of the illest dudes that have beef. The only beef I haven't seen that he really that's what he thought about it was with Fat Joe. That's why I brought Fat Joe up. Cause he like, yeah, Fat Joe got a bunch of crazy Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? Yep. That's the first one. Fat Joe got them wild Puerto Ricans. He got El Eduardo, he got Luito, he got Raul. He got them niggas, them Jibaros. See, them Jibaros is just as dangerous as them Haitians. You know what I'm saying? But some might say for a bundle of dope, they take a whole family out. You know what I'm saying? He got them type of niggas on deck. He got them ghettos. They went around with old jail raisers. Old Puerto Ricans. So out to my Boricuas. But them niggas come home. They leave jail with they bangers. Like, yo, son, I had this in the attic of y'all, son. They hit with the, yo, son, let me show you some my pops had. My pops was going to war with my doctor. He had this shit. You know what I'm saying? He cut such a grandfather. Where's this? That's the kind, I'm saying, those type of so fat, so 50, no, I can't fuck with this fat motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Guy Fat Joe a little more dangerous, you know what I'm saying? I can play with this Haitian. I don't know why. The funny part, I don't know how he can play with Jimmy Henchman. You'll hear the stories. Tupac, before Tupac, cut him, shoot him, you know what I'm saying? And again, 50 Cent don't get that now. Shout out to 50 Cent though. Salute to 50. This nigga's the biggest winner in hip hop. Nody Mac died over hip hop. Over a hip-hop situation. He really ain't died off of the money or he died over some dumb shit. 050 trying to bring him into the building. 050 trying to bring him to the building. My favorite Puerto Rican, the Boricua. The Boricua. Maricón. Chuletas. Cabrón. Tell me. You don't play with you niggas. It's time for me to get my police to the Boricuas. 050 trying to bring movements in the building. It's nothing but love. It's some New York shit. I'm telling you, man. Listen, let me tell you something. I don't play with the Haitian. We thought to tell you, man. I thought Steven Seagal, they had the Uzis with the red dreads and all this shit. I was scared. Definitely line salute. Now, thanks to the good people at crowncourttv, court transcripts, this is jury transcripts. They're explaining why a man died over hip-hop. And 50 Cent is now worth probably $200 million. He has these great shows on Power. And to be totally honest with you guys, to be 100% honest with you guys, how is his name attached to all this gangster shit, and they're not even calling him down to be a witness? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I gotta give the man some credit. We gotta give the man some credit. His name's attached to some real shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to play some shit for y'all. Come live from the office of the 518. Hold on 1 second. Shit. Damn, I don't just take too long. But shout out to Cuban Links. Cuban Links, you know, Cuban Links is this bitter man, nigga. I be mad too. I was on with you niggas, and some shit went sour. You cut me, or had me cut and punch in the head. Now you know now you on NBC, my nigga. I'm supposed to be with you on NBC. I get it, but you know, Fat Joe don't see it that way, man. Fat Joe don't find a new group of Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I mean, you Cuban. I get it. He then went back. He went back to the hood. You see who he got with him? Some bona fide Puerto Ricans. He had to pick niggas up from jail. Like, you're getting the car, relax. You ain't got to rob nothing no more. You got to stick nothing up. They can keep the block. You got to convince these dudes. So, now it goes. Williams testifies about Yayo and Lodi Mac slapping Jimmy Henchman's son. Courtesy of Crown Court TV. I only got 20 minutes to do this, party people. I might have to adjourn this shit and come back to it. Might be a part 2 to this shit. But let's get there. Can't make this shit up. Follow Crown Court TV. Follow. Subscribe. This is Child Transcript.
What was Jimmy's role in the organization?
Shout out to Maylene doing the voice, the narratives right there, bro.
Supplier. So he provided drugs? Yeah. And who did he provide it? Not names, but kinds of people. People who were selling. What, if anything, locations did the drug organization use to store its supplies? Sorry, I missed that question. I couldn't understand you, Mr. Tugger. I missed that question. Could he repeat the question? Could you reread the question back? Do you want to just ask, what, if any, locations did the drug organization use to store its supplies? Stash houses or dummy offices? What were some of the stash houses? I have one on 65th Street in Manhattan, another one in Harlem on 7th Avenue, and 136, I think it was.
Where was you dirty blood niggas at, man? He had a stash house in the hood. But no, not really. It was gentrified Harlem. Don't be fooled by the block of the location. Harlem was gentrified back then. Y'all get it passed.
Did you ever go into those stash houses? Yes. The one on 165th Street, where was it located? 65th Street between 1st and York?
Oh, shit.
That's in Manhattan?
That's on my way. The Upper East Side. On my way. Yo, Jimmy, that's some crazy shit. You're on my way, my nigga. I can tell you what's over this. Upper East Side is by like Julie Richmond, 64th Street, Julie Richmond High School. Bellevue Hospital's in that location over there somewhere. You go further up, John J. Poole, Wagner Junior High School.
Yeah. What kind of establishment? It's an apartment building. What kind of apartment building was it? Just a regular walk-up building. And the one in Harlem, what kind of establishment? It's an apartment building. Was that a walk-up also? No. It had an elevator? Yeah. What was the location of the stash house in Harlem? It was on 7th Avenue, I think 136 and 137. Did you, Rosemond, ever tell you expressly that he was running a drug organization? No. How did you learn that Jimmy was running a drug organization? Just kind of picking up on things, and a couple times I've seen things. Can you give us your examples? There was a time Jimmy had gave me a bag to give to Tep, and when I gave it to Tep, he opened it up to take out what was in it and put it in his stash box in his car. Tev, remind us what's his name? Muhammad Stewart. Okay, approximately what year was the incident you just described? I believe it was 2008. Where were you when Jimmy gave you a bag? At his mother's apartment on 57th Street in Manhattan. Who was in the apartment with you? Me, Jimmy, Khalil. That's pretty much it. What did Jimmy give you in the apartment? A backpack. What did he tell you to do? Take it down to Tev. Did you do that? Yeah. Where was Tev? In his car. When you saw Tev, what did you do? Gave him the bag? Were you outside the car or? No, I got in the car. What happened when you gave Tev the bag? He opened it, took out what looked like 2 bricks of cocaine and put it in the stash box. What car was Tev in? In a Ford Explorer. Where was Tev parked? Right on the street. How far from Jimmy's mother's house? Maybe like 100 feet, maybe not even that far. Okay, so that's one incident. Were there other incidents you can recall that told you, all right, Jimmy's running a drug organization? Another time I went to go pick up a package at the stash house on 65th Street and Derek English was there. He wasn't finished packing up the box. He still had a bunch of money on the floor, so who asked you to go in the stash box that day? Jimmy did. What were you supposed to do? Why were you going to the stash box? To pick up a couple boxes to ship them out. When you got there, you said, what did you see? Money on the floor, a lot of money. Cash? Yeah. How much cash? I don't know, it looked like a lot though. You see anything else? Like a food saver bag, rubber bands, boxes, mustard, that's pretty much it. Did Derek English ever finish packing the box? Yeah, I had left and came back. It was finished. What did you do with the box? I shipped it off. Did you supply cocaine to this drug organization? No. Did you sell cocaine for the organization? No. Did you participate in the management of the organization? No. Did Jimmy discuss with you the details of how the organization was run? No. What kind of tasks did you perform for the organization? Whatever was asked of me. Can you just give us some examples of some of the things that were asked of you? Like I said, shipping or boxes, or sometimes receiving boxes that were shipped and sometimes taking money to buy money orders. Okay, let's walk through some of these and let's talk about shipping boxes. When you were shipping boxes, what was in the box? Money. What kind of money? Cash. Who would ask you to do that? Sometimes Jimmy, sometimes Khalil. Where would you get the money to send? They would be in the boxes. Where would you pick up the boxes? From the stash houses. In New York City? Right. Where would you typically send the boxes? Mostly to California.
Now, just to put you on to something, you mentioned Cameron when he's beefing with the Curtis joint. Cameron did a video on Wagner Projects, and when he did the video on Wagner Projects, he had the drug kingpin, rest in peace, Za, from the Stingray Dope. He was in the video. That was the guy that was speaking about the snitching and the ratting. And that's when, remember, on the radio, they was about, well, who can snitch and who couldn't snitch. It was the whole snitching movement, if you was a civilian and all this other craziness. But yes, that was Za that was in the video. They did this video on Wagner Projects, by Wagner Projects in East Harlem. Rest in peace, Za. For those that don't know, that's the Stingray crew. That was the East Harlem crew that was at the tunnel a lot. You seen East Harlem cats that was in the club? That was them from Stingray, First Avenue, Second Avenue, Taylor Towers. Just give you an update because you mentioned the whole Cameron, but he was beefing with. So again, you know Cameron's a rapper, he had street niggas in his video, street legends in his video.
You talked about receiving boxes? Right. Can you give us an example of how that worked? Sometimes if somebody else could, I would be asked to, I guess, catch a package that's coming this way. And I would either just get it straight off the truck, or I would go to the office or something like that, and I would get it from there. What does that mean to catch a package? Receive it. What was in the packages that you were receiving? I'm not sure, but most of the time drugs. What kind of drugs? Cocaine. And you said you were asked to do that. Who would typically ask you to pick up packages that were coming in? Jimmy. Now, if Jimmy asked you to go pick up a package of cocaine, how would he phrase that request? He would just tell me he needed me to pick up something, or he needed me to be somewhere to receive something. Would he say, hey, I've got a bunch of cocaine coming in a box, go get it? No. You mentioned money orders. Can you explain, give us an example of how that works? What were you doing with money orders? Jimmy would give me some money to go to the post office and buy money orders, but I would go to different locations, not just one location address. What kind of money? Step back. Let's talk about the first time you...
This is just part one. This is part one. There's gonna be a part two. I'm gonna put two more, like this testimony and another testimony up. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the show. Just give you a flash. Just give you a logistics of what's going on. At that time, other people with Jimmy Henchman, he was people with Cameron. Cameron came with Curtis, and that's what he said. Oh, you know what? I said you call him. I'm gonna call myself Curtis now. Remember, that's the Curtis joint. Remember, stay with me on this. Stay with me. Remember, that's when 50 was beefing with Cam, they did the five city tour, the Boost Mobile 5-5 Bubble Tour, and Remy Ma. It was Remy Ma, Joel Santana, and Jim Jones hopped on stage with 50 Cent. And that was like a slap in the face to Cameron when they came to Joel's and Jimmy doing that, I guess, in the public eye. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But he had Zai in the video. So the streets, when he said Curtis, he had street legends. The Zeke Black from Wagner and all that. The ones that was running around with what do you call him? The Silver Surfer, Max B. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Frank Nitty from Tab, from Mad Jack and all of them. Definitely shout out to the FCW crew. But so just give you the logistics of this show, of what's going on. 50 Cent was beefing with not just these media guys, he was also beefing with dudes in the street. Because remember, they was calling him a rat back then, and they had these things on Hot 97, what's considered telling, what ain't. They had shows based on who's snitching. That was like the years of the snow snitching T-shirts and all that other craziness. But I ain't gonna lie to you, 50 Cent name ain't on nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just his name's involved in these beefs that helped his record sales, that kept him hot. It wasn't that Cameron made Curtis, it's him who was in the video. So just, yo, you see Zai was in the video with Cam. You know what I'm saying? You see, yo, that's Zai, son. It worked. He played into it. Oh shit, they got the Harlem niggas, the East Harlem niggas getting money. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. When 50 Cent was going to the club, rapped about how to rob and all this other stuff, he seen Zion in the club buying the bar. These dudes had the Stingray. Rest in peace to Zai. Just give you a what this show is about today. I'm gonna go on later and give you some more of the logistics to doing my due diligence. You understand what I'm saying? Due diligence. Find some legal shit to do. I like to shout out, my man from Push That Knife, God's a King. Unstricken mentality. Happy birthday to Jacob. Skull City, Bravo, Tia, Tiff from Push That Knife. People I vibe with, man. My man, Death for the Cloud Chaser, Chuck. Big Chuck. And that's just, you know, I'm just showing my love, man. It's just, you know, I move around there and I have conversations. I'm able to build. And that's in Clubhouse, though. You know what I'm saying? That's on the Clubhouse. With that being said, man, I hope you enjoyed the show. I got some more coming. More of this testimony. If we stop that, I might start from the beginning again, but I'm gonna have because y'all basically know what I'm talking about. So I'm just gonna touch into the situation. This is basically giving you the rough draft of what I'll be talking about. Definitely shout out to all those that pull up 050 trying to bring the movement. Salute to Solid D. Salute to, you know, we locked in. Salute to because this is what we're doing. We have to speak for the streets. We may not like certain things that we're doing, but we are the true voices of the street because we come from them dirty corners, those dirty walls. That's where we come from. You may not agree on everything. Shout out to Hassan Campbell. You know what I'm saying? But we all got a story. We all got a story, man. There's more things going on with the Preem thing situation. Shout out to Harlem Legend. My man J.E. Moneybag is for the kids. He's doing things for the kids where he's at. People are doing things. That's not I want to show you something, man. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought it was this guy too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I really thought it was him, man. But I just seen some crazy stuff. And I ain't gonna front, I really did that. I really thought it was him, you know what I'm saying? This guy. Sometimes, right? We hearing these stories, and the worst part about it is somebody got life in jail, a couple of people died. Now, think about this. Somebody died for slapping somebody, allegedly. It helped 50 Cent's career. You know what I'm saying? Because it was all media. It's in the media. They gave people to talk about. The Associated Press speaks about that. The great rapper 50 Cent, G-Unit beef, once the Associated Press touch it, it goes everywhere. Not just BET, MTV News, and VH1. It goes everywhere. LA Times, New York Times, Dallas, St. Louis Dispatch. Understand, it works for him. This media game is bigger than what y'all think. Stop looking at it from a local standpoint. That being said, I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Southern Belle. I love you. St. Louis, West St. Louis. Yo, find some legal shit to do. The slap that got Jimmy Henchman Life, Part 2. Shout out to East Harlem, Spanish Harlem, that old barrio. Shout out to my man Ho. Y'all know, Ho. Follow me on Zeke Black, Feed the Wolves, on IG. Shout out to the PT 131 crew. TWB crew. We got free Sub-Zero. We can't allow people to trick us out of reality. With that being said, deuces.